There was a sense of grief among the fans. I did pick up on that because, you know, certainly other musicians have died in the past, but when Aaliyah died, I found I was getting calls from school groups, high school groups, college groups, wanting me to talk to students about Aaliyah and what she meant, wanting to discuss what she was like. Did this have to happen? There are a lot of people out there who were very struck by her death.
Everybody was sad about her death. I remember coming across a two-way and people calling, and it was just like people that, it's just something that you could not believe. When certain things go down and certain things happen, everybody just starts sending these party two-ways to anybody and everybody that they know. And I remember first hearing it, getting the news over a two-way and just looking at it like, nah. But then again, getting it from somebody else and saying, you know what, nobody can be playing like that, don't nobody. That's nothing, death is nothing to be playing with. And it was just sad.
It really seemed to me then and seems to me now one of the cruelest pop deaths. We're used to that, I suppose, in pop music with Kurt Cobain going when he did, but this is even crueler in a way because it's someone who had just released an album that was this first sort of full statement of where she had been heading in the music instead of the two singles that preceded it. So there was a cruelty to it and I can't believe this quality that still seems particularly striking.
My last contact with Aaliyah was tragically the day before she died. That Sunday, we were supposed to leave together from New York to go to California, where we were going to do the looping, the post-production looping on Queen of the Damned. They had decided not to do it in New York. I had volunteered to go down and meet her in the Bahamas, and because I thought it would just be more convenient. She was there transporting one person instead of all those people, might have been easier. My bags were packed. They were literally sitting at the door when I heard the news of her crash. It was a double whammy for me because had they taken me up on my offer, I would have gone down to do the looping with her in that sound studio and would have been on her air flight coming back. But my last contact with her was the day before when she had called me, and we were looking forward to seeing each other, and we were due to meet up at the New York airport at JFK and then fly out to California.
Thousands of fans lined the Park Avenue streets to pay their respects to Aaliyah and her family at the funeral home. Her funeral service was held at St. Ignatius Loyola Roman Catholic Church in New York City. The hundreds of mourners included friends Missy Elliott, P. Diddy, Busta Rhymes and Jay-Z. After the service, 22 white doves were released into the sky. Each one marked a year of Aaliyah's life. Cipriani's on 42nd Street held a public memorial service for fans on the day of her funeral.
I believe, actually, we had a door clicker, and I believe the total guest count was a little over 10,000 people came by. And it started at 11, I went to around 3, so about 4 hours. But right at 11, we had at least 1,000 people waiting to come in. And then, we wanted to give everyone a little bit of time, so everyone, we stopped them at the door and then had them come in. So there were 3 large video screens above the DS that were, they had videos and interviews. And then you paid your respects, you went around through the back, you signed a little guest card, and you went on your way. People brought cards, people brought flowers. Some people made things, trinkets, bracelets, left them for the family. It was really piled up though. There were 10,000 people, everyone brought something, so it's quite a few things. The more serious fans were crying or weeping, but it was very I don't know if somber is the right word. I would use, it was a very respectful tone. Everyone sort of respected, you know, in such a short time, what she'd done and how talented she was.
Aaliyah's ashes are laid to rest at Ferncliff Cemetery and Mausoleum in Hartsdale, New York, alongside her grandmother. Aaliyah's fans, friends and family were left in a state of shock. However, to some people, the reaction to her death in the press was surprising.
The reaction to her death in the press was, in some ways, across the board. Part of the problem is that you have in respectable press outlets, there is a largely white, largely baby boomer editorial staff that don't seem, when it comes to pop music, to be able to grasp anything much outside of their generation. There was a cluelessness when Kurt Cobain died. People didn't get the significance of that. In Aaliyah's case, I think it was mentioned as, oh, a pop idol has died. And I read tributes, and some of them were very nice, but I didn't read anyone really delving into the significance of it. It seemed a part of what I saw as the general cluelessness about her death in the press.
In 2002, close friend Jay-Z remixed Aaliyah's song I Miss You, listing the people who were close to her, who still care, remember and love her.